Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Dan Schwartz. Today's video is about the 80/20 roadmap, the guiding light for all of our 80/20 Investor Academy members. This is going to show you what specific projects and initiatives to focus on and in what order. If you haven't watched the previous video on the 80/20 forces, I would check that out so you understand the big picture for why order matters when you're scaling. And this is going to zoom in even more to the specific hires to make, things to do, like systems to install into your business as you scale up based on your revenue levels. So we're going to talk about the foundational stuff that you need all the way up to 100K plus. What are the things that you're supposed to be focusing on? And the cool thing is this also shows you what not to focus on based on what your revenue is. Because if you're just starting out, you don't need to be doing fancy things like launching in 10 different markets, right? So the 80/20 roadmap is exactly that. It's going to help give you some clarity on your next right thing, that next right work on your business project. If you feel stuck and you're not really sure how to get out of this situation where you're in, where you're locked in at a certain income level and you're super busy and you can't seem to get through to that next level, well, it's probably because you're not focusing on the right activities that are going to actually create these levers in your business that'll help you scale past just trading your time for dollars. And that's how most people operate. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the 80/20 roadmap. Here it is. How this works is it works from right to left. So as you might have recalled from the 80/20 forces video, you start with scale, then you focus on systemizing monetization, and then you focus on systemizing lead generation. So it works from right to left. We don't go from left to right, okay? No. So how we accomplish this is starting from the right side, and you find whatever revenue level you're at. So let's say you're making 10 to 30K. The types of projects and initiatives you're doing at this level are more tactical and how driven, versus when you get up here to the 70 to 100K plus per month revenue level, then it's more strategic and who driven. Now I want you to always think about who, not how. But when you're just getting started, there is a little bit of hustle involved, systematic hustle, though. We don't want you to just grind out working on the wrong things. We want you to grind out on the right things. So this is how it works. If you are in this level right here, then this is the column that you'll be focusing on. And this is really the foundational level stuff. Have we freed up 10 hours of time to work on things? A lot of people that I talk to, they're getting going. They want to start working on all these things, but they don't even have any time to do it. So step one is to make sure that we can free up 10 hours of time. On our website, there's a digital version of this. So for members only, you get a digital version of this roadmap where you would click in, free up 10 hours, and it would take you to all the videos that show you how to do that and get that done. Same thing for increasing profit per deal. You click on that and it would take you to all the relevant trainings and interviews that we've done over the years that'll help you increase profit per deal. But for now, this is more just for you to understand what to focus on. This is how you do it. So next thing is building up your org chart, right? Do we have a plan for who to hire next and how that's going to scale out and what your role is on the team? Setting goals. Do we know where we're going? Have we set the GPS? Do we know exactly what weekly targets we're going to be hitting? Do we have a scorecard in place? Do we have it written out so everybody can see it, right? So these are some of the foundational things. And then in the monetization section, we look at, do we have a follow-up system in place? Are things falling through the cracks? Have we mastered the close, right? Or can we get on the phone with the seller and get a deal locked in, right? The basic thing. And do we have a process for that? Do we have a script? Deciding your exit strategy. Have we committed to one strategy or a set of strategies that work for our marketplace? Or is it like every time a seller calls, you're like frantically trying to figure out how to make money from it? Then we look at generate. So do we have some partnerships where we can get some leads for free? Have we hired a VA so that we're not the bottleneck here? This could be a lead manager or a marketing VA. And have we just created consistency by having a marketing plan? We have a whole training called the 80/20 marketing plan that shows you how to put in a consistent set of activities on a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis to have consistent lead flow coming in. Have you done that yet? So basically what this roadmap is it's like a yes or no on each of these boxes. Have we set our goals? Yes or no? And the basically the first thing that you come across where you can't check it off, that becomes your next right thing. And you fill in the 3 next right things moving from right to left and upwards. Now, what if you're making 30 to 70K, but you don't have a follow-up system in place? Well, you always default to this lower column. Even if you're up here and it's negatively impacting you that you don't have a follow-up system, then you jump down to the lower column and you fill out, or you do the work to build up your pipeline systems and your follow-up scripts, and make sure you have someone that can handle that. So even if you're up here, like I talk with people all the time that are up here, but they have no time to work on their business. And so this takes precedence over any of the things up here, right? So order matters even more importantly, depending on what revenue level you're at. But if you're doing all this work, then automatically your income will start to rise up to that top layer, the top row above it. You might even, jump to the very top if you're in a good market and you're, have high deal profits. But 30 to 70K is really just about starting to dial in and tweak your funnel. Making sure that we have KPI dashboard, making sure that we have an executive assistant, and we're really buying back our time, controlling our productivity, which really just means increasing output per hour and doing the work to actually make that happen. Building out your playbook, making sure that there's documentation for everything. Having a transaction coordinator and getting out of some of that low-level admin work per deal will open up your capacity to do more deals. Upgrading your sales process will do the same thing to make sure that your team, whether it's you or someone else on your team, has an efficient way to get deals done. Increasing profit per deal, right? It's important to make sure that the conversations that we're having are going to yield the most possible profit, right? We don't want any rinky-dink 2K, 3K wholesale fees when we can simply allocate our time towards bigger spreads. We want to make sure that we're at least increasing profit per deal by looking at your dispo processes as well and making sure you're not selling to the first buyer that calls you. Amplifying your channel, right? Growing the partnerships. At this point, we can even consider launching paid ads, right? So PPC on Google or YouTube ads, whatever you're using to get paid ads in. But honestly, if you haven't gotten to this point yet, then it doesn't make sense to launch paid ads, okay? If you're just starting out and you're in the 10 to 30K range, don't focus on paid ads. Just get this organic traction, maybe some partnerships going, and get the consistency built in before you start to reinvest that profit into paid ads. Paid ads, I definitely believe, should be on the list, but you don't want to jump ahead too soon because it's going to dwindle your cash reserves very quickly. And then, of course, in the 70 to 100K, we're looking at the more strategic and who level activities. This is like the fun stuff. This is where we start to think about brand, right? Getting that TV commercial up with the jingle that's going to, stay on top of everybody's mind when they have to sell their house. A reputation in your marketplace, buying billboards. This is this type of like branding. You don't need to worry about branding if you're only making 10 to 30K a month. But when you're up here and you want to get to that next level, brand is important. You need to reinvest money back into that, into scaling your PPC, maybe buying an YouTube ads or Google Ads manager that can manage that ad spend on your behalf and do it right. At this point, we can consider maybe even expanding into other markets. And then, of course, a lot of upgrading of your leadership team, making sure you have operators that can run the business without you and understand exactly where the business is going, making sure you have systems in place that bolster your finances and allocate capital correctly. This is important. We have a whole system for profit first for real estate investors to make sure that you can actually lock in profit and be a profitable business. And then delegating your sales. If you haven't already done that, having an acquisitions team is going to help you drive more lead flow on the front end, because you're not the one taking the calls. That means that you can scale marketing because you have a dedicated team that can handle the appointments that result from your marketing. We have a whole training called the Acquisitions Manager Blueprint that shows you exactly how to get an AM on your team step by step. Building out your portfolio, right? Knowing when to start to keep some of these rentals for yourself and building out that consistent cash flow. Then you can launch into new exit strategies, hire a dispo team. This isn't like it doesn't have to be this way. Sometimes it can be a little bit more zigzaggy, but for the most part, this is kind of the 80-20 of it. if when in doubt, you can just refer to this list of activities. And I promise you that all of these are high leverage activities that'll help you rise to that next column or next row of activities above you. But really, what this is more than anything is a reminder of what is a distraction versus what you actually need to be focusing on right now. And inside of the Academy, there's a digital version of this where you click in and it'll actually give you all the activities to eventually be able to check that box off. So leave a comment below. What is your next right thing? Just watching this video, what are the first 3 things from right to left, bottom up, that you need to focus on? Go ahead and type it in the comments. I'd like to see where everybody's at. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be publishing a bunch of videos on the topic of scaling your real estate investing business to run without you, so that eventually maybe one day you can take like 2 months off and your business will continue to run and you come back and there's more money in your bank account at the end. That is the art of entrepreneurship. It's a different set of skills than just doing deals alone. But if you like this, then go ahead and like the video. If you want to chat with our team about how we can help you directly scale up from 6 figures to 7 figures annually, then there's a link. Just go to join8020.com, or you can click the link in the description and you'll be able to schedule a call with my team, see if it's a great fit. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.